Happy Friday, friends. Thank God it's here. I don't know about you, but man, this week is just drug. I don't know what the deal is. It's like Monday and Tuesday went by pretty quick. Wednesday, Thursday got here. It just, man, slow. But thank God it's Friday. Man, half a day left and the weekend starts. We're going to go over some basketball, some football coming up this weekend. Bowl games start this weekend, the FCS playoffs. Some good basketball games on tomorrow, too. We'll review this week real quick. What happened with some of the big teams, big games. Before we do that, we're gonna do some news. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything. All right, let's get right into it. Colin Klein, he's leaving Kansas State. He's going to become the new offensive coordinator at Texas A&M. Couple key players are not going to play in the Sun Bowl for Notre Dame. Quarterback Sam Hartman and running back Audric Estime. Neither one of them are going to play in the Sun Bowl against Oregon State. I understand why they do that, but kind of disappointed because I was kind of looking forward to that Oregon State Notre Dame Sun Bowl. But it is what it is in today's world. I don't know. I don't mind it, but at the same time I do. It's kind of weird, but former Purdue wide receiver Deion Burks transfers to Oklahoma. Speaking of Notre Dame, former Duke quarterback Riley Leonard, he's committed to Notre Dame. Remember? Duke was playing great, and he got injured in that game against Notre Dame, and then they just kind of went downhill from there. So he's going to go be teammates with the guys that hurt him. Pretty crazy, huh? Ohio State running back Chip Trayanum, he's transferring to Kentucky. God, that's a lot of players from Ohio State. Isn't it like almost 20 that have transferred? Kind of crazy, isn't it? Oregon center Jackson Powers Johnson declares for the NFL draft. Ex-Miami quarterback Taylor Von Dyke transfers to Wisconsin. Van Dyke, kind of up and down guy. Man, one game he'll be brilliant. Next game he's getting benched. I don't know. He's kind of an up and down guy. Good quarterback, but not really consistent. This is good. Florida AG is investigating the CFP over Florida State's exclusion. That'll get it done. Throw an investigation out there, and they'll be sure to change the results just for that investigation. Yeah. I don't know why people investigate. Nothing ever gets outside the police. When all these congressmen and government, we're going to do an investigation on this. Nothing ever gets done. You're just wasting time. And I guess he's going to run for a higher office, so he's just trying to put his name out there. Texas A&M linebacker Edgar Cooper, he declares for the NFL draft. Jalen Milroe says he will be returning to Alabama for his senior season. And then Texas quarterback Malik Murphy entering the transfer portal. Pretty good backup. He came in when Ewers was hurt. It's got to be money why Arch Manning is still hanging around there. It's got to be NIL. Why else would you sit there behind Ewers for a couple of years? I don't know, man. I can't believe he's still there. Like I said, it's got to be NIL money. Why Arch Manning hasn't left Texas yet. All right, so let's go back to Monday real quick. Number 10, Gonzaga beat Mississippi Valley State 78-40. Gonzaga's Huff, 17 points, 4 rebounds off the bench. Ike behind him, 13 points, 8 rebounds. Gonzaga had 11 total steals in this game. For Mississippi Valley State, Brown, 19 points, 9 rebounds. He was 4 for 7 from the free throw line. Elsewhere on Monday, Longwood, they moved to 10-1. They beat, I've never heard this school, Gallaudet? Must be some junior college or something. Delaware, they're 7-3. They beat Rob Morse 73-69. Columbia, they're 8-3. They beat Fairleigh Dickinson 87-83. Samford, they're 8-2. They beat Alabama A&M 118-91. Samford, 7 players had double-digit points in that game. Cal State Northridge is 7-3. They beat Utah Tech 80-75. San Francisco is also 7-3. They beat New Orleans 85-72. On Tuesday, number 12, Tennessee beat Georgia Southern 74-56. Volunteers, I do 29 points, 11 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 8 for 11 from the free throw line. Good game for him. Georgia Southern, Harris Jr., he led the way, 13 points, and he came off the bench to do that. Number 21, Duke beat Hofstra 89-68. Filipowski for Duke, 28 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 blocks. Behind him, Roach, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. For Hofstra, Dubar, 24 points, 8 rebounds. Pretty good game for him. And behind him, Thomas had 18 points and 3 rebounds. Elsewhere on Tuesday night, UMass Lowell, they moved to 7-3. They beat Long Island 78-65. Cincinnati 8-1. They beat Bryant 85-53. Louisiana Tech, they moved to 9-2. They beat Southeast Louisiana 89-60. Western Kentucky, they're 8-3. They beat Wright State 91-84. NC State, they moved to 7-2. Beat UT Martin 81-67. George Washington, they went to 9-2. They beat Bowie State 88-73. Radford, they're 8-4 now. They beat VMI 73-56. Tarleton State, they're 8-2. Beat Sterling 85-47. Minnesota, they moved to 8-3. They beat IUPUI 101-65. Boise State 7-3. They beat Northwestern State 95-54. Texas Tech is 7-2. They beat Oral Roberts 82-76. Oregon is 7-2. They beat Cal Baptist 76-55. Moving to Wednesday, UNLV beat number 8 Creighton 79-64. UNLV's Boone, 25.7 rebounds. Thomas Jr., 16.6 rebounds, 9 assists. Creighton's Kalkbrenner, he led the way, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks, and he was 4 for 5 from the free throw line. Number 15, Florida Atlantic beat Florida International 94-60. The Owls, Davis, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Martin, 14 points, 5 rebounds. Florida International's Lipscomb, 17 points. Number 18, BYU beat Denver 90-74. BYU's Waterman, 20 points, 14 rebounds. Johnson, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Denver's Brinchley, not Benchley. 21.7 rebounds, 3 assists. Followed by Bruner, who had 15 points. Chicago State go up there to Evanston, beat number 25 Northwestern on their home floor, 75-73. Cornette Jr. for Chicago State, 30 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Followed by Corbett, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Northwestern Bowie led the way, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. Langhorne had 18 points. Princeton, they're 10-1. They beat Bryan Athyn. I'm not sure I've heard of that school. 92-40. Appalachian State moved to 8-2. They beat Queens 93-81. Mississippi State moved to 8-2. They beat Murray State 85-81. Longwood 11-1. They beat Milwaukee 80-67. Auburn, they're 7-2 now. Beat UNC Asheville 87-62. McNeese, they moved to 9-2. They beat Southern Miss 67-48. Liberty, they went to 8-3. They beat Tennessee State 74-52. San Francisco went to 8-3. Beat Seattle 62-59. Nevada, they're 8-1 now. Beat Weber State 72-55. Utah State 10-1. Beat Santa Clara 84-82. Last night, number 7 Marquette beat St. Thomas, Minnesota 84-79. Ighodaro for Marquette, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 7 for 11 from the free throw line. 4 others from Marquette had double-digit points. St. Thomas, Minnesota is led by Dobbs, who had 14 points in that one. Number 23, Wisconsin beat Jacksonville State 75-60. Wisconsin's Crowd, 19 points, 9 rebounds, followed by Wall, 16.7 rebounds. And Tandy for Jacksonville State, 16 points on that one. Excuse me. I'm getting over a cold. Youngstown State, 8-3. They beat Bethany 107-70. Tulane, they're 7-2. Beat Furman 117-110 in overtime. Morehead State, they're 8-3. Beat St. Mary 102-110 33. Not St. Mary's out west. It was St. Mary of something. Smaller school. I've never heard of it. I couldn't get up the rest of it. There's evidently a long title in that school's title because I couldn't get it to come up. But anyway, Morehead State beat them. Florida 7-3. They beat East Carolina 70-65. Drake 10-1. Beat Grambling 68-56. All right, so FCS semifinals this weekend. Some good games tonight. ESPN2 11-3 Albany versus 13-0 South Dakota State. That is going to be on ESPN2 at 6. And then tomorrow, you got another one mixed in with the bowl games. 3:30 ESPN2, 11-3 North Dakota State, whose coach just bolted for USC. Hey, yeah, on the playoffs, we're going to play for championships. Yeah, see ya. Versus 12-1 Montana. That's going to be a good one, too. All right, so we said they're mixed in with the bowl games. Tomorrow, you got the Myrtle Beach Bowl, 10 a.m. ESPN, Georgia Southern versus Ohio. Carrier New Orleans Bowl, Jacksonville State versus Louisiana, 1:15 p.m. on ESPN. I believe it's the Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl. Miami of Ohio versus Appalachian State, 2:30 on ABC. The New Mexico Bowl, New Mexico State, who's had a hell of a season, unfortunately lost their conference championship game, but still having a hell of a season. They'll be playing Fresno State. 4:45 p.m. ESPN. That should be a pretty good game. The LA Bowl, UCLA versus Boise State, 6:30 p.m. ABC. Independence Bowl, which is usually a pretty good game, no matter how good or how bad the teams are. Cal, who did a hell of a turnaround, versus Texas Tech. That'll be at 8:15 ESPN tomorrow night. Basketball, you got some good ones mixed in with all that bowl games and all that. Tonight, as a matter of fact, number 5, UConn versus number 10, Gonzaga, 9 p.m. ESPN2. Pretty cool. We got some late night hoops. Tomorrow, a bunch of games. Some of the bigger ones that stick out. 11 a.m. ESPN2. LSU versus number 19, Texas. 11 a.m. on the CW Network. 8-2 LaSalle versus number 24, 7-2 Miami. That would be pretty good. 11:30 on CBS, number 2, 9-1 Kansas versus 7-2 Indiana. 1:30 on ESPN2. 7-3 Texas A&M versus number 4, 10-0 Houston. 2 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Number 13, 9-0 Clemson versus 7-2 Memphis. 3:30 on the Peacock Network. Number 1 Arizona versus number 3 Purdue. It's going to be a hell of a game. 4:30 on CBS. Number 9 North Carolina versus number 14 Kentucky. And then some late night hoops. Might be a pretty good game. 9 p.m. ESPN2. 7-2 North Carolina State versus number 12, 7-2 Tennessee. Or 7-3, I'm sorry, 7-3 Tennessee. North Carolina State versus Tennessee. Now, why that game starts so late? I wonder if it's. I didn't see if they're playing somewhere else, like in a tournament, or it's because of all the football games on. I don't know. Because as we know, ESPN likes to try to hog everything. That's why they decided a few years ago football games are only 3 hours long, and basketball games are only 2 hours long. Remember that when they decided that a few years ago? Yeah. All right. So, like I said, Friday, half a day. Thank God. Man, y'all have a safe weekend. Enjoy football, enjoy basketball, enjoy whatever you're doing. We'll be back early next week to go over what happened this weekend. And we'll be back later next week, right before Christmas, to preview things coming up in the next few days. Got some bowl games on Monday and Tuesday. If you're lucky enough to be off next week, you can catch a couple bowl games there on Monday and Tuesday afternoon. Anyway, we'll see you later. Have a good day and a good weekend.